Alright, so I was gonna go ahead and make my how to counter Vivian video tonight, but while I was out today, they apparently teased a new map on the esports broadcast, so I want to talk about that instead. I'll make the how to counter Vivian video tomorrow night, after the second test map gameplay sometime earlier in the day. Sound good? Sounds good. Alright, let's talk about this map. So this map is called the Magistrate's Archives. Now that name should probably be sticking out to you guys like a sore thumb, especially if you saw my Terminus lore video, because I talked about how the Magistrate is heavily connected to Ashe and Terminus and stuff like that, and how the Magistrate is probably this very powerful, influential, and important figure in the realm. I'm not entirely positive on if it's a group or a person. I'm pretty positive it's going to end up being a singular person. So maybe we'll even see the Magistrate as a playable character with the title, the Magistrate, in the future. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe at Hi-Rez they go ahead and they tease a new character that ends up being the Magistrate, because we are supposed to get lore, like real lore, at the end of the year. So that would go ahead and line up nicely. I mean, we'll be getting this map, then lore that we'll talk about, hopefully the Magistrate, because I think the Magistrate is the big talking point as far as Paladins lore goes. So we'll get lore on that, figure out who that is, and then we'll get a teaser of the character being playable at like Hi-Rez or something. I think it lines up pretty well. We'll see how it goes. I'm just being hopeful. I would love to see the Magistrate as a playable character. I think they would be really cool, really powerful. I think it's a character we really need. So we'll see how it goes. As far as the map itself goes, it does look a lot like Stone Keep. The aesthetic theme is the same, and to me that is very important. I don't think it's something like, you know, Splitstone and Foreman's where, you know, they just have the same theme. I think there's something behind that, because the characters, a lot of them have lines talking about how important Stone Keep was, is, or will be. Many different lines. They're not in the game yet, but I'm positive they will be eventually. And since Stone Keep looks a lot like the Archives, I would imagine they have like a similar level of importance for like the same reason. Like maybe the Magistrate built both of them, or maybe they conquered the Archives and then went to conquer Stone Keep and ended up destroying it. If you compare the two maps, they're both kind of run down. Like they both have vines growing in, they have like stone broken down, stuff like that, but Stone Keep is a lot more broken down and it feels a lot more lifeless, like it really is ruins. As far as the Archives go, the inside of it looks like it's been well managed, like it still gets used to this day, even though the outside is sort of run down a little bit. But yeah, it still looks like it gets use. And in Vivian's teaser, the area in that teaser, the environment was this map. So maybe even Vivian is connected to the Magistrate herself. What I'm thinking, and I'll try to confirm this through more evidence when the map comes out, maybe there'll be some stuff to look at and poke around with, but Vivian is a character that really wants to rise to the top. She wants power, she wants control, and the Magistrate probably wants the same thing, being, you know, a character with armies and stuff like that, very powerful, again, influential character, very impactful. So Vivian probably wants to get into his archives, or her archives, steal something, you know, to get the jump on the Magistrate, take him out, stuff like that, get them out of the way. So I picture these two being enemies. Also, as far as characters who are related to the Magistrate, in this teaser we see Maeve specifically. We see a broken window, and then we see Maeve walking through the halls, tossing a pouch up and down in her hands. Now, to me, it's very interesting that they put a character in a map teaser at all. So I think this may be connected to the lore. You know, with it being Maeve, Maeve is specifically connected to the lore. So maybe Maeve is in there stealing something of importance from the Magistrate, you know, probably to sell or something like that. Maeve is a thief, that's how she makes her living. Maybe in that pouch is like some kind of powerful crystal that some, you know, merchant might want that, you know, she can go ahead and sell for a lot of gold. But yeah, to me, that's really gutsy of Maeve to go and steal from the Magistrate. Like, that's crazy to me, because Maeve is not one of those, like, really powerful characters in the realm that can really take on the Magistrate if the Magistrate finds out about this. Like, hey, you stole my stuff, I'm going to destroy you. Because I picture the Magistrate easily wiping the floor at Maeve, because Maeve doesn't really have a lot going for her. I mean, she's a skilled thief, very quick, very agile, stuff like that. But again, not very powerful, does not really have a lot behind her. Maeve has a gang of thieves, but is a gang of thieves really going to match up against armies very well? Especially with Ashe, the War Machine, leading those armies for the Magistrate? I think not. Ashe herself would probably wipe the floor at Maeve. Like, instantly. Like, I feel like it's no contest there. If those two fought, Maeve would just die. instantly, honestly. Okay, maybe not instantly. Maybe she'll, you know, like try to get away, you know, pounce around a bit, stuff like that, try to fight back, but inevitably, Ashe would probably destroy her. And as far as like her gang goes, again, an army is going to cream her gang. So it's very weird and interesting to me that Maeve is, you know, messing with the Magistrate. Because as far as people who could probably match up against the Magistrate, I'd say, you know, Zin, he's a warlord. He has this 1,000-hand guild behind him, stuff like that. Leon also is, you know, of course, the scion of House ISO. She has soldiers and stuff behind her. So, you know, soldiers to fight soldiers, not thieves to fight soldiers. So yeah, again, it's just very weird and interesting to me that Maeve is being gutsy enough to steal from this very, very possibly threatening character. But hopefully we'll get more answers on that later on. But yeah, one more thing here I want to mention before we close out is if you look at this trailer closely, it doesn't look like there is any central objective. Like there's no point on the map, which is big to me because the game is all about objectives, right? Like even Onslaught, it has this big central point that everyone fights on, you know, has control of so they get more points along with the kills. You know, their Siege has that big point that you cap, and then you get a payload to push. And you know, there's payload too, but I really doubt they're ever going to make a new payload map. I really picture them removing that mode from the game at some point, because they don't work on it, they don't really care about it, it's just there, and only really new players play it. There's some higher level players that play it. I play it sometimes, normally when other people want to play it though. So yeah, I really doubt they'd make a new map for that game mode. Apparently a Team Deathmatch game mode was data mined, so maybe this map will be for that mode, because again, it doesn't look like there's any point to make it work as like an Onslaught or a Siege map. So maybe it's a new mode for this map, you know, full on Team Deathmatch, you know, grab your Androxuses, your Cassies, stuff like that, and just, you know, have at it. 5v5, fight to the death, whoever gets the most kills wins. At least that's what it seems like to me. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe not. It would be pretty weird to have a game mode like that in, you know, a game all about objectives, but maybe it'll give a place for people to just mess around with their DPSs and stuff like that. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, that's the map. It looks really cool. Really short teaser. Definitely shows a lot. I'm very excited for it. I'm guessing it'll come in OB64. I hope so. So we'll see then. The pad preview for that is this upcoming Friday. So not much longer to wait and see. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. I want to thank you all for watching. I very much appreciate it. And I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.